Titanfall has its real core roots in honest-to-goodness gameplay. We came out of a situation where a lot of us had done games in the past, modern shooters, and we had experience with that, and we wanted to try to not only play our strengths because we know how to make games a certain way, but also step as far away as possible from modern shooters that we see today on the market. We tried to experiment with ways where the player could survive longer and working gameplay mechanics, kind of building up from there. The first Titan came out of a meeting about wanting the player to survive longer, and it started with like this dive suit. Suddenly the designers were talking a little more about, well, what if we do a scale change as well? What if you're like a human scale, and then you go up to this larger suit that's something you can get into or call in, and then we started playing with that, and it just kind of blew the doors off the ideas. I think in some ways you get in that situation where you're like, did we bite off more we could chew? Because we're essentially building two games now, but half the battle going through is making sure those two games worked in tandem with each other and were balanced against each other. So the entire universe of Titanfall is really about supporting those gameplay mechanics, the pilot, the Titan. I think there was a test early on, a motion capture test, where we motion captured a Titan. We saw that Titan go up to a building, take cover on a building, which I thought was like, wow. You need to find that sweet spot scale that makes it so you can build environments that support the gameplay. If we made our Titans too big, the idea of having a pilot interact with them seems a little bit hard to convey. So we had to find that magic size. We were hesitant about doing giant robot game because up until this point, robot games have had a certain reputation, and we worked as hard as we possibly could to kind of break that mold and draw from inspirations from Japanese mecha designs and bringing that into the Titanfall game space and really trying to make it work and balance it. That process is unbelievably challenging for not only the designers, the animators, balancing the motion models between the two, the pilot and the Titan. I mean, there were times when we had the Titan was too fast, and you had like these groups of pilots just trying to chase the Titan down and could never catch it. So it's really finding that right speed for both. I mean, you don't want to make your pilots, so we had pilots too fast at one point, and you couldn't even shoot them. So it really comes down to like lots and lots of heavy testing on site, and it's really getting all departments involved so that the artists can come at it from a visual standpoint, make sure that the robotic designs support the speed and weight of those Titans, working with the animators working with the designers, and really coming to it's like good decision making based on experience as we go. But it's not an easy task. I mean, it takes very little. We were even hesitant at one point. You've seen two other Titans that we announced, and there were points in the project where we were a little bit concerned. Do we put the other two Titans in? Because we have to get this one right first. And once we got the one right first, then we felt comfortable bringing the other two into the game space. The story in the universe of Titanfall is a little bit gray. We wanted the player to kind of feel like, if you're playing for whatever side, to kind of feel like you gel with that side while you're playing. So if you look at the IMC, they have a personality, and the personalities, they come very military correct. They speak on comms a certain way. Their tactics seem a little bit more military. Their gear has that vibe. And then you have the militia, they feel a little more ragtag. They've got a mercenary vibe to them. Their gear feels more off-the-shelf army surplus, but it was never meant to make an asymmetrical fight between them. They really are, it's a symmetrical fight, and it comes down to talent. It doesn't fit into a bucket, it doesn't fit into a bullet point well. It's something new. Gamers have so many hours or minutes to play a video game, and we kind of came at it from the perspective of those gamers still want a little bit of story. They want to know what they're fighting for or who they're fighting with. And we saw the opportunity to kind of take a lot of these single player elements and you wrap that all into multiplayer campaign, and we have each level tell a story from one side of the game, either the IMC or the militia. So I think it makes for something really interesting. The challenge from the artistic standpoint is we're not doing a traditional single player path, this critical path that everybody's used to, where you're just going around a level. Usually the artist will go in and just detail that one path. In Titanfall, because of the way it is, we had to detail every square inch of the environment. So we build these massive levels, and we had to detail the entire thing. It lets us focus. You're focusing your fire in the right spots. I hope we make you guys proud, and you like what you see, and keep playing.